This is an Ellis Mowers and More small engine repair. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. Parts used in today's repair are found using the links in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. On today's small engine repair, we're going to look at this John Deere LA115 that's come in. This is a customer repair item, not a personal mower. Guy called me, had a reference from somebody else that I've worked on a machine, done some servicing and repairs, and he said, hey, I got this LA115, doesn't start. Need to get it going because we actually finally got some rain and the grass has started growing again. Everybody's grass is getting long, and so that's why I'm absolutely loaded to the gills with machines around here right now. Nonetheless, he said go ahead and take care, get it serviced and all that good stuff too. So we're going to do a lot of things, almost like a restoration video to a degree. We're not going to be painting the deck or the fenders or anything like that. But we are going to get this back running and cutting reliably again. Fixing all the little issues. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert, but these blades on this thing are horrendous. I don't know how they work, honestly. I don't even want to know what the grass looked like when it got cut with this machine with the way that the blades are. I'll show you what the issue is with the starting issue. We do need to change the blades out, and we have to level the deck and a few other things on this. Also, got to the left side tires are going flat, so throw a little ATF in them, send them out. So let's see what we got. All we got to do. Any surprises? We also got to wash this thing because it's dirty, and there's a bunch of oil caked on the engine just from probably where it's never been washed in a really long time. So let's give a quick tour around, take care of all this stuff. Probably going to take care of the blades first, and then we'll fix the starting issue because I already got it running. But give you a quick look around, show you what the issues are, what we're going to fix, and then we'll fix them. Alright, quick look around. The LA115, it's got the pedal drive hydro on it. 19.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton. The battery's from 2021. It's still working good, so we're not going to worry about replacing that. Don't know what the air filter looks like. It is... We'll probably go ahead and replace it. So we'll keep that out for now. Got a ton of them. Want to make this thing last for a while. Somebody's put an ignition coil on this thing at some point because it's got this style boot, which is not the which is not the correct boot for this. And then you got the valve cover. I mean, this thing has seen some weathering for sure. It does start, which is good. It will start. Oils do. But the reason why, whenever I cranked it actually I didn't crank it when I was there. Didn't even bother. But, because it was a straight shot onto the trailer. When I got it home, it started and it was running really high on choke. And if y'all saw, I just pulled the choke on it. The choke is not retracting. So I've got to fix this return spring on the choke. So I'm going to pull all this off, see if I can get all this sorted out. But the choke seems really tight. So got to get that sorted out. Again, the left side tires are a little low. The deck, I don't know if you can see how raked the deck is, so I do have to take the nut on the front here, raise it up some right there. It's a little tricky to get to because of the exhaust shield, but we'll get that taken care of. Get that raised up, got to get it leveled. On the sides here is where it gets leveled. It looks like it's really, really high in the back and really, really low in the front, so I've got to sort that out. Get it kind of, you may want like an 1/8 inch rake to the front or to the deck from front to back So we'll get that taken care of. And then oil change, we got to change the blades. I'll show you all those in just a second. They are absolutely horrendous. So I did the blade section as a product review, but I wanted to show y'all these blades are, I don't have words to describe them really. They're missing about that much off of each end because they've been used to the core. And so they are going into the trash, scrap, whatever, but they're going right there because they are no good anymore. I have a new set of Bud Rash blades on here. I did the video portion of that for a product review. All you gotta do is take off a couple 15/16, stick them in there, but also make sure that where your blades join up in the middle is not offset, because if it is, it's not going to cut very well, and you have to take the spindle and remove it and actually physically beat the deck tabs back into place to get it back even again. I've had to do that numerous times on these John Deeres, and it's not very fun, but it's doable. They do make reinforcement rings as well. So I've got it on the mower lift here. That portion of it is done. I'm going to lower it and do what I mentioned here. We've got to raise the front of the mower deck up, and so that looks like a 5/8 there to raise the front of the deck up so that we can get the height correct so that it's not just sitting way down. Grease the front wheels and the front steering spindles, and after I do that, I'll move on to the running issues that this machine has, which hopefully will be a relatively quick fix. Worst case, I have to put a carburetor on it, but I don't think I should. I should just have to put a spring on it or get the spring tension back up on the choke. Alright guys, I got the deck leveled as good as I could. Got, again, decent air in the tires. They're about the same all the way around. You have to check those first, and then, level it as necessary. This deck bracket here on the rear looks like it's about to come off, so I think I'm going to have to pull the deck on this thing and just give it a good cleaning and all that good stuff. So a little bit more than I thought I was going to have to do. I'll make sure that this thing runs and stuff, or runs good before I go through all of that. But one thing that I do use, some people laugh at me for it, is oil filter boxes. And typically what I do is I just shove them under here on each side, 2 of the same boxes, and make sure that they're about at the same point on the box. These SuperTech boxes are nice because they have, usually I can kind of align it with the word SuperTech or at the very top of the box, and it works well for what I use it for anyways. To level your deck on each side, you've got this mount, and then you got the mount on the other side, and you just have to screw them in, screw them out, get the one up on the front. You see that the rake on the front is a lot better than it was. Could go up just a tiny bit more, but I think that's going to be okay. So next what I'll do, and hopefully we're not going to be contacting the tire with, that's really close there, isn't it? But next what we'll do is the running aspect of it. After I get it running, make sure that it's driving good. I felt up under the deck, or the belt. The drive belt feels good, so I don't think this thing's going to need belts, but we are going to have to do some pretty significant work to the mowing deck on it in order to get it back going, in addition to giving it a good wash. Next, we'll get under the hood of this thing. Again, I showed y'all what was going on with it. I don't think we got to take the hood off, but I think these are easy. Some of the newer ones you got to take a bunch of bolts off to get them off, but these are easy to get off, thankfully. As long as this plug comes off. There we go. Just lift this up, lift it out of the way. What we're going to do to get to this is actually, we're just going to take this cover off. It's very easy to do on these. We'll grab a 10 millimeter and try and find my little impact. 3/8 works as well. Don't forget I got to put an air filter on it. Take those off. Now the fuel pump, I got to get a ratcheting wrench for, or a regular wrench. So this one works. Take this off. Yeah, the fuel pump adds a little bit of complication to it, but it ain't too bad. Let me get actually a socket. We'll take the fuel pump off. The only thing, I'm going to take this off. Y'all may have noticed that in my previous videos I have had this finger bandaged up. I will say this much: be careful around angle grinders. That's why it's bandaged up, and I'll leave it at that. Luckily it's almost healed at this point. It's one of those situations where gloves would not have helped me. It probably would have actually hurt me. Unless I had steel-toed gloves instead of steel-toed boots. Been sent some steel-toed boots for some product reviews. They sent me 3 pairs instead of 1. None of y'all would probably care about that though. So that's a little bit of a cumbersome job to get this fuel pump bolt off here, but we're close. Alright, it's basically off now. I don't even know what's holding it on anymore, y'all. But after the fuel pump here, boom. There's 2 more bolts to take off back there. That was a long one for some reason. I'll take these 2 bolts. That'll allow this to lift off, and then we'll address the carb issue. Time to remove the cover here. I believe. I don't think this one's got... No, this one just got an O-ring, so pull it out. Got a little bit of oil and gunk up over here, don't we? Probably got an upper seal that's maybe spewing out just a little bit, but yeah, somebody did not gap this coil correctly either. Wow. Works, but we'll fix that while we're in here. I mean, I know I oversight some things, but I hope I never oversight things like this. With an improperly gapped ignition coil. Okay, so what I hope I can do here, that was a couple 7/16 to get us to this point. So you can see that it's just extremely difficult to move this choke in and out. So what I'm going to grab a little bit of pliers here. Pull that out, and does that fix it, or is that just... Doesn't seem to help anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can pull this out without having to... I can pull it up, I know that. what I might have to do is, let me just do this first. There's just a lot of resistance right there. And I don't know why. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this fuel line off here. I'm going to unplug the fuel solenoid switch. Somebody's been in this. I think what I'm just going to do is take a drill bit and just drill that out a tiny bit to get it to work properly, because our issue currently is it is way too tight. Like this portion of it is. I mean, deep well 8mm. Go ahead and pull the carb off. Now this mower did run fine whenever you manually pull the choke off of it, but then what, this spring right here isn't attached, so I gotta bend that back or find another link. I got a million linkages to this, so I may just pull this, hook this in though. It should work just fine. It could run a little bit faster too, so it's not like, that explains why it was running a little bit slow. Alright, let's pull this off and take a look at this. So it's just like, it's just tight. And I've put what do you call it in it? Some WD-40 in it already. So what I'm going to do, and I know this is probably not the best fix, but I'm going to find a drill bit that's just a tiny bit bigger than this, because it needs room to move around, right? So I'm going to find a drill bit tiny bit bigger than this. I'm going to drill through this carburetor, and then we'll put this choke assembly back on it. Alright y'all, I know the gas is leaking a little bit, but here we go with this. We're just going to drill. This is a 1/4 inch drill bit for those wondering. And we're just drilling just a tiny bit out of it. Let's see, so we need to, you'll see how much more free that already turns. So we're just going to take the spring, wind it around a couple of times. Let's go one more time here. Messed it up. Let's do one more time. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? There we go. That's what we want to see. Still not doing like I want it to though. Yeah. This might be a little bit of a figure out what we're going to do here. Oh no, here we go. Okay, so let's put the butterfly back in. If I remember what way to do it. Not that way. Still not retracting like I want it to though. So maybe go one more size up. Because that spring isn't going to hold like it needs to there. Alright, we'll go one more size up then. It's good to start small, I suppose. Let me see if I can find a drill bit. Well, maybe I can just wall this one out a little bit because my next size up is a 5/16. So. Let's see if that's any better. I have other options too if I need to. That seems a lot better. So let's see if this will work better for us now. I'll go over one more time here. There you go. That's much better. Well, I thought, until I put that back in there, and now it won't retract. Oh boy. Well, I'm going to keep on working on this and see if I can get it to where it will actually retract for me. I may just have to grind the top of this just a little bit and the bottom of it just a little bit, just so it doesn't wedge itself in there, because by itself it was fine, but now it's not anymore. So it's almost like it bottoms out down there. So maybe I just need to drill it out just a little bit more, drill down on it a little bit. I'll get it right. I'll tell you what I end up doing in order to get this correct before putting it back on the machine. Well, in this case, we'll use the old "it's a lawnmower, not the space shuttle" adage that Terrell Fixes All uses. Just take a look at that. That's the way that the linkages go back on. You want to put the linkages back on before you attach it to your engine again. Then we'll hook up the anti-backfire solenoid, and we should be ready to at least try this thing out. Let's see how well it runs. By the way, drilling out that a little bit further worked just fine. So we'll see if this thing runs like it's supposed to. If it does, we'll put it all back together. Now, before we put it all back together, let's fix some wrongdoings here. I have plenty myself, so I don't really have any room to talk. However, we'll get this one fixed. Alright, so business card. Push all the way in. This coil's been on here a minute because it's got some rust on it. Alright, got the thread started. That means I can take the impact now. 12-volt impact. We're not going crazy here. And whoops. That fin is kind of in the way there. There we go. Pull the card out. And you are gapped. So I'll put those 4 bolts back on for the engine shroud. Just be careful whenever you put it on. You don't want the dipstick to be forced inside. You want it to be outside of everything. I will give this thing a good wash after an oil change. Wash the engine off real good as well. And hopefully we'll be in good shape. Again, new air filter and all that stuff too. Next order of business after I do all of that is probably going to be fixing the mower deck on it. But I might do that before I give it a final wash. I will see what I do here. But I'm just going to slide this back into place like it needs to be. Let's see. Alright, that's the front. Hopefully the back is right. I'll put these 4 bolts on, put the fuel pump back on, and we'll try the deck out and probably just pull the deck next on it. Guys, I got the deck off. 5 mounting points. You'll see them where your deck height adjusters are. You take that off the top there. There's a little rod that mounts kind of that comes off the back, that mounts kind of above the middle of the deck, and then the front of the deck is just a front mount. Take a clip off, and then you take your clip off for the blade engage mechanism, and then you take the spring off right there. That's all you got to do to get these decks off of these things. Super easy. Reason why I took this deck off was twofold here. I got a loose bolt that I need to tighten up somehow. Get a 9/16 and get that taken care of. That one's fine, but the bigger issue back here is actually, it looks like both of them are trying to crack the deck mounts, as you can see. So, gotta get that all cleaned off. I'm probably going to try and weld them from underneath. So I'll see what I need to do for that in order to take care of that, and I'll let y'all know what all I got to do. Finally got some welding wire. Perfect timing to do this because I was out. But I'm going to take a 9/16 and just see if I can tighten that pulley up a little bit. I'm going to turn the deck upside down and try and grind everything as much as I can down there, and then weld it from the bottom, and then also try and grind it and weld it from the top a little bit. Let me get all that set up. I know I'm going kind of quickly here. I'm trying to get this done tonight. It's already after 5 o'clock, and would love to have it done sooner rather than later. Guys, I got everything back on. I have a pretty poor attempt at welding, but put some ATF in the right side tires. I'll show you the welding job. I'm very embarrassed by it, but there it is. I don't even know how much good it's done, but hopefully it'll prolong the life of that deck a little bit. Get that bracket welded, or get that bracket up a little bit. Still need to wash it, but running and cutting wise, it's just fine. A little bit slow to turn well, it's not slow to turn the belt off too bad. It's got 201 hours on it, so, it's getting late. Another 90-degree day here. Been outside most of it, so I'm gonna wash this thing tomorrow, change the oil in it, and have this thing finished up. But man, a lot of little things that needed to be addressed on this, wasn't it? So we'll see. I can't get the park brake off now. There we go. So hopefully this will prolong the life of this mower a little bit. It's probably going to be, because of the way the deck is, it's starting to get a couple soft spots in it and stuff too. He's probably going to be looking at replacing this thing in probably about 2 to 3 years if I were to suspect. But hey, a couple $100 Should sustain them for a little while. Probably a little bit more than a couple hundred, but y'all get the idea. It's a lot cheaper than him going ahead and making the jump and buying another mower, because this thing, as you hear, runs great. Just needed a good refreshing. So this is not the nicest in terms of cosmetics, because I tried to be easy on the pressure washer, but man, you know how this John Deere paint is. It just flakes off. So again, if this was one that I was going to sell, I'd obviously blow off as absolutely much paint as possible. But since this is a custom mower, they just want to get it back in good running condition. They probably don't want to pay for a full-on restoration. They seem to be happy with the repair and what I charged them for everything that I've done. So that works out pretty good. Look, besides the cosmetics, this thing does run good, drive good, cut good, and you know, for most people that's going to suffice. For these people, it's going to suffice too. So again, a customer repair, not a one to resell. If this was one to resell, obviously when I had the deck off, I would have painted it, and I would paint this greens, the rust areas on the green, take the little pan thing off right there, and do that. But got them back functional again. Hopefully this thing will start back up for us. Lubed up the engagement cable a little bit too. As with these John Deeres as they age, the blade brakes are a little bit slow to turn the mower off, but hey, fixed a lot of little issues that this had, and hopefully this guy will be back in business to cut for the rest of this season, and hopefully a couple more seasons again. So guys, that's everything on this LA115 John Deere. Again, just a customer repair in for what was just going to be, he just said service it and fix the starting issue where it wouldn't start. It just ended up being that choke was stuck. I just had to drill out that hole a little bit for some reason. I don't know why it was like that, but it was just tight, and I don't understand why. But we just drilled that out just a little bit. Everything seems to be happy on it again, and it is running great. It's cutting good, especially with the new blades that I got from Bud Rash that I did a product review for, made a couple of passes along the side of the driveway, and man, this thing cuts super nice and level now after we leveled the deck. Fixed the left side tires because the left side tires were flat when I went out there to get it, so did the ATF treatment on them, and hopefully everything will be good now. So thanks again for watching this repair. I apologize that these past couple videos are a little bit hasty and short, running a little bit low on content, and also we are family members about to have a baby, and we'll be out of town for a few days for that, and so I've got to infill the content while I'm not here. So that's why I'm just filming a couple of repairs instead of the restorations, because I've had quite a few just repairs come in and services come in here lately, and we'll see what the rest of the season brings. It's been good so far, but a lot of stuff that y'all don't see done off camera. I don't film everything that I do because I don't have time, frankly, and also a lot of the stuff is just boring stuff that's already out there. So I really do appreciate y'all watching. Again, we have a 10,000 subscriber giveaway coming up with Super Clean. I'm excited for that. That should be coming within the next week or so. I've just got to get the van, get some time to get the van in a position to clean it, and we're gonna clean the mess out of the inside of that thing because it needs it. Hope y'all stay tuned for that. Hopefully win a little bit of Super Clean as well. And I appreciate y'all watching this video on the John Deere, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Take care.